right, lead heads, and welcome back to the Talking Lead podcast. This is episode 227. Hope you guys tuned in for last week's episode where we had a tactical episode. All of our guests from last week had tactical in their names. We had Tactical Kinetics. They're a barrel manufacturer. They do OEM barrels and other parts, based out of Knoxville, Tennessee. And then also based out of Knoxville, we had SGM Tactical. Those guys are famous for their magazines that they make, aftermarket magazines for the Vepr, the Saiga shotguns. They do Glock magazines, a number of other magazines. And then they're also coming out with a new Glock barrel, a collaboration project that they did with Tactical Kinetics, and they talk about that. And then we also had an iPro company on, Tactical RX, Brett Hunter, talking about their new line of prescription iPro that they have out and available specifically for the shooting industry. So you guys go back, check that episode out. This week, it's going to be a little shorter show than what you guys have been used to lately. I think this will be our last interviews that we have from the Big Three East. I'll go through my files and make sure I got everybody, but I think this is going to wrap up our Big Three East fall edition of interviews, and we're going to do it with a bang with Geissele Automatics. You guys probably know them from their triggers, but they also do handrails, they do buffer system tubes, they do bolt catch assemblies, all kinds of accessories for your firearms. And then they've also got a sister company called ALG. We've got Diego with Geissele going to be talking about their company and their products. And you're also going to hear in the beginning of the show a gentleman by the name of Jacob Johnson. And Jacob is with the Big Three East Media Group. He helped me co-host several of the interviews that I did during the Big Three East Fall Edition. And we also have Paul Reavis with Gearhead Works, LLC. And even closer to the lead quarters, these guys are based out of Christiana, Tennessee. And they've been doing a lot of different accessories and parts for your firearms over the years. But they've come out with, Paul developed a very cool attachment that goes on your AR pistols called the Tailhook. So he's taken the pistol brace idea and he's really streamlined it, brought it down to the minimalist that you need, bringing the weight down. But it's a very comfortable product. So it's really cool on how this thing works. So Paul's going to get in and talk to you guys about the Tailhook from Gearhead Works as well. It's going to be a great show. Hope you guys enjoy it. Before we get started, I'd like to go ahead and thank all the sponsors of Talking Lead. Right On USA, the official optics of Talking Lead. I use nothing but Right On glass on all my rifles. I use their scopes and their red dots. They even got a cool magnifier for the red dots, 3x magnifier. I've also been using their high-quality binoculars, and I am super pleased with the crystal clear clarity that you're getting through all of their optics. RITON. Check them out at rightonusa.com. It's a veteran-owned company based out of Arizona. Family-owned, family-run business as well. They are growing, so these guys are really taking off. If you guys haven't tried them yet, these past couple of weeks they've been running some awesome sales on their optics to get you guys introduced to them. So I hope you were able to take advantage of these special deals that they've been running. But if you haven't yet, go to their website, rightonusa.com. Use the discount code LEADHEAD, and you guys can still get a nice discount there. X-Steel Targets.
X-Steel Targets.
The best, most affordable AR-500 steel targets on the market. X-Steel Targets is the #1 American-producing AR-500 steel company. Bud and Lori over there run a top-notch outfit, and their products are awesome. If you guys are not shooting steel, you need to be. If you're a competition shooter, if you're law enforcement, military, or if you're just everyday plinker like myself, they've got a wide variety of targets that are going to make you happy. So go check them out. xsteeltargets.com, and if you don't see anything there that interests you, get in touch with Bud and he can custom make targets for you. Modern Spartan Systems, they have everything that you need to optimize your firearms. They've got the cleaning solutions, they've got the oils, they've got the greases, they've got the lens cleaners for your optics, and they even have products for you fishermen out there and as you guys have heard me talk time and time again, the old lead sled, I use their automotive product. It's called TVT, and that is an oil additive. You can even put it in your gas that helps lube and protect all the innards of your vehicles and keeps them running good and running for a long time. I got over 313,000 miles on the old lead sled. So check them out at modernspartansystems.com. VanQuest, tough-built gear, bags and backpacks and all kinds of gear. VanQuest, check them out at vanquest.com. They are having a deal, another deal before the end of the year. They're going to call it the year-end sale. It starts December the 29th, and it's going to go through January the 1st. And all you got to do is go to their website. There's no promo code needed for this one. And they're just going to be having basically a blowout clearance sale, getting rid of all their additional inventory. Check out VanQuest gear. I've been using their gear for over a year now. I've been using the messenger bag. And I've got a couple of their smaller packs that I've been using for travel. And these things are, just like they say, tough built, very durable. They still look brand new, and I've been lugging these things around, like I said, for a year to all the different places that I go and travel. And you guys know I get out there quite a bit, and these things hold up really well. They're stylish, and what I really like about them is on the inside of them, they've got a contrasting color. So that contrasting interior makes it really easy to quickly spot an item that you need in your bag, grab it, and pull it out and go. So check them out, vanquestgear.com. Glock, check them out at us.glock.com, the official carry of Talking Lead. And like I said, hopefully before the end of the year, we might have some big news coming from them. But they've got a great gear store over at Glock as well. So go check them out if you live the Glock lifestyle. They've got some awesome products over there for you. us.glock.com. Kel-Tec, the official lead quarters for the 2018 SHOT Show. It's going to be an awesome SHOT Show. We're looking forward to this year. We're going to have some great interviews lined up, some new companies that you guys have never heard from. Some of them, they're celebrity types, might be jumping on with us during SHOT Show this year. It's going to be a really cool SHOT Show this year, so we're looking forward to bringing you guys all the cool new products and hear from some of the celebrities in our industry as well. Check them out at keltecweapons.com. And then, of course, for that, we're going to have some limited edition T-shirts. I don't know if we'll have any left over or not, but we will be giving some T-shirts out there. We're supposed to have our Leadhead Brigade T-shirts ready by SHOT Show, and we may be doing a little special Kel-Tec Lead Quarters T-shirt. So be on the lookout for those. So if you're at SHOT Show, make sure you come by Kel-Tec, check us out. And then those shirts, the Leadhead Brigades, are at 1776united.com. They are the official gear store for Talking Lead. So get all your Talking Lead apparel at 1776 United. And then check out all their other cool stuff. And then Asymmetric Technologies. Those guys are stepping up again this year, helping sponsor us to make our trip to SHOT Show successful and comfortable. So big thanks to Asymmetric Technologies for being sponsors of the Talking Lead Show again this year. We're going to have Brian on soon. They've got a new product, a new security system product that's Terra-based. It's really cool. I was there earlier this year to get a demonstration of the product, and I was thoroughly impressed with it. So can't wait to get Brian on to talk about their new Terra-based security system. So this is just a real quick pre-show for you guys. I've got to head out. I'm going to be doing some traveling over Christmas. So hope everybody has a very, 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 very Merry Christmas. Be safe. And we'll have another show for you guys. I just did an interview with Jacob Herman with Night Vision. We did a little pre-Instagram live before we did the recording with Jacob over at On Target here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We'll have that show ready for you guys sometime after Christmas. So before the new year, but after Christmas, get ready for another episode of the Talking Lead Podcast. But let's kick this one off with Geissele Automatics and Diego. All right, guys, we are back at the 2017 Big 3 East. This is the second edition. The fall, we call this the fall edition.
This would be the fall. Actually, this would be the fall edition.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners there.
My name is Jacob Johnson. I am the son of one of the co-founders of the event. The event has been going on for about 10 years now, it's gotten a pretty big following, and we're really happy to have you here, and happy that we can
appreciate you guys having me here.
Happy to have Diego here as well.
Now I understand that you're considering maybe starting a podcast of your own, so we're kind of getting your feet wet here.
Yeah, right? No, I wanted to very badly. I looked up to the Howard Sterns and the Alan Rocks in high school. I really wanted to be a disc jockey, and I figure podcasting is like the modern radio.
There you go. That's the next step. Absolutely. Next evolution of the disc jockey, right? Right on.
Well,
Jacob, we appreciate you joining us.
Absolutely.
And to my right, as you're listening to us on the radio dial, we've got a first-timer to the show. We have Diego Muya, and he is with Geissele Triggers, Geissele Automatics.
Yes, hello. Thank you for having us. I am Diego from Geissele Automatics, and I am the marketing manager. And I do all sorts of content creation for Geissele.
Yeah. Now, where are you from? Georgia? That accent?
Originally,
South
from
Carolina?
A little more south than that. Originally, I'm from Argentina.
Argentina? Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
And how long have you been in America?
Oh, I've been since '94.
So you've been here a while.
I have been here for a
Now,
long
are you
time.
citizen?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know. Maybe you got the work visa and you come here and you work and you go home back to...
I became a citizen as soon as I could. The greatest country on earth.
Well, congratulations on your citizenship, and
Thank
you
you,
did it the right way.
Thank you very much.
You know,
Yes.
appreciate you doing it the right way. Geissele Automatic. I mean, our listeners are very familiar with Geissele and Geissele Triggers, your products, and you guys do things other than triggers as well.
Yes, we do all manner of firearms accessories. We're doing lots of rails at the moment, scope mounts, charging handles, bolt catches. The list goes on and on. We have a buffer system, a spring-on buffer system called the Super 42.
The Super 42.
Super 42. It does a lot for the AR platform. It's 3 braided strings put together, and it helps a lot with suppressed weapons with short barrels. If you were shooting an AR, you hear that twang on the stock.
Yeah.
So this greatly removes that.
Oh, nice.
Right on.
Yeah, it's just been fantastic.
Okay. Now, what's the price point on one of those?
The Super 42, I believe it's going for $65.
That's not bad at all.
It's not that bad at all. And on our website, we always offer free shipping with every order. And if you order up to a certain amount, I believe if you buy a trigger or a rail, you get a famous Geissele swag pack, which includes a hat, a bunch of stickers, high-quality patches.
Very cool.
All the sort of good stuff.
Very cool. And if they want to get that product, now you guys have distributors as well, right?
Yes. We have a large network of distributors.
Okay.
Whatever you can find quality firearm components, you will find Geissele products.
But I'm sure you guys have your products posted on your website so people can go check them out and then go to their local dealer and get the products, right?
Yeah. But absolutely. Now there's more local gun stores that are coming around to the Geissele goodness.
Yeah.
And they're starting to stock our products, and we love it because it's kind of difficult. It's difficult to sell a trigger because you can't really feel it. So I can sit here and talk to you about, this trigger is amazing. It has a 2-stage, 4.5 pump pull. But if you can't really feel it,
It's got to be a hands-on experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you brought some toys with you there.
Yes. So
A little show and tell.
So I guess it's show and tell over the radio, over
the
the
radio.
podcast.
We're going to do a good job of painting a picture for you. So you brought in one of your new handguards.
Yeah, so this is one of our new handguards. This is a Mark 13 in 9.5 inches. So the difference with this new rail is that it has a much slimmer
Lower
radius.
profile.
Yeah, it's a much lower profile. So it uses the same barrel nut that Geissele rails are known for. It's a 2-inch barrel nut, so you have a free-floated rail.
Right.
This thing is bulletproof. We have a video on our Facebook and our YouTube of Bill. He grabbed the rifle with a Geissele rail, and he beat it up. He's sitting there, slamming it like a sledgehammer on the concrete. He's dropping it behind his back, dropping it from like 6 feet in the air, 10 feet. This thing doesn't even, it gets...
Didn't put a dent in it.
it gets scratched up like anything would.
Right,
but really,
but it's...
functionality-wise,
May I?
It's there. Absolutely,
Let me hold
yes.
this. All right, so I'm holding it right now. And do you do longer ones, or is this...
Absolutely, yeah. They come in 15-inch, 13-inch, 9.5, and I believe a 7.
Okay, and the locks that you got here, you're doing the standard...
Those are M-lock.
M-locks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then this is the Mark 13, which has at the end, it has a Picatinny rails machined right in.
Machine, so you got the quad front rails up there.
Right.
So you can do your light, your side mounts, lasers, whatever you
Correct.
want to put on there.
Right where most people would put their firearm accessories. That's where you want to know. And this is integral to the rail, so it's not going to shift, it's not going to move. It's always there. And then we have the Mark 14, which is just straight on all the way with M-lock.
Okay, very nice. And as far as retail on this, what are we looking at? I don't know. It's going to, the longer it gets, the more.
Yeah, it depends on the length, and I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but I want to say 350, 325,
Okay.
Depending on the color. We also offer all of our rails in black and DDC color, which is our desert dirt.
So like a flat darker kind of.
Yes, pretty much.
Put your own little twist to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool. All right, so you got some other ones. So you got some triggers. What are we looking at over here?
So we have a bunch of new triggers. I didn't have all kinds of samples to bring, but this is platform specific for the SIG MCX. So this is pretty much our version of the SSA that's meant for the MCX platform.
The MCX?
Yeah, so it's a 2-stage trigger, 4.5 pound total pull. So that puts you in at about 2.5 pounds on the first stage, and then you hit that wall, and then you break at 2 pounds. And it's
and then the reset is just 2 pounds thereafter, right?
Yeah. The reset is butter smooth.
Okay.
So it's forgiving then. So like somebody
exactly.
with like a disability like myself could slap that on anything and it wouldn't really have too much bite.
Sure, and this is based off the SSA platform, our super semi-automatic Geissele trigger.
Mm-hmm.
It was meant and designed and tested for law enforcement and combat use and home defense. It's Crane Naval Warfare certified. It has a drop test. Whatever you want to do, it's
right
on.
And it's not. Would you call this a drop-in?
I mean,
it's not a drop-in, but it's all self-contained. It looks like, so it'd be it's very easily installed. Here.
Well, it's all triggers really are pretty easy to install. It's just 2 pins. We also offer a couple of tools that'll make the installation easier. But I wouldn't necessarily call it a drop-in, as some people call it. Like, it's not made with it doesn't have a cassette in it where the whole thing just fits in at once. So you have to.
But the way it's coming is coming together. You got all the springs and everything right there, so you're not having to assemble all that.
Right. Right.
So you're just popping your pins, you're pulling your other out, you're putting this in, setting the springs, and putting the pins in.
You pretty much have 2 parts to it. You have the hammer, and the trigger. And what you're seeing there is the bridge of the MCX platform. So that's going to work.
That's specifically for the MCX.
This is specifically for the MCX.
Okay, that's what that is.
The MCX is very rough on triggers, so we've developed it and tested a lot. Just to make sure that this would live up to.
And you got the curved trigger bow.
That's right. Yeah. So this comes in 3 different flavors, pretty much. It comes on a flat bow, which we're also known for.
Yeah, I like the flat ones.
Yeah, which is flat all the way. And then we have 2 versions, which is it's the standard M4 version and then the Geissele curve. So the difference being that the standard M4 version is curved like a normal trigger, and then the flat part where your finger goes is also curved.
Yeah.
And the Geissele version, the part where you put your finger, is flat.
Now, you've got a name for that. You're calling it.
Yeah, we're just calling it the Geissele curve.
The Geissele curve. Okay. So what's our other one we got there?
So over here we have a Geissele Maritime bolt catch. So this is just it's a replacement for your standard factory bolt catch. It has a really nice and finished texture on it. So, if your hands are wet, if you're in the elements or whatever, you will always get a good...
Yeah, very aggressive, positive indentions there on that.
And it's great for left-handed shooters. And also if you're wearing gloves, any sort of tactical gloves or whatever, you always know you get
gets a little better grip on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's definitely got a good... I could see this being it's got a good feel to it. There's not a lot of bite, not a lot of give at all. I mean, it feels durable.
Oh yeah.
So that's nice. That is nice.
Okay, and this is new, something new that you guys came out with.
Yeah. This is new for this year.
Okay.
We also have a couple of new charging handles, which sadly I did not
you
have.
Didn't get to bring those.
for
That'll give us something to talk about at SHOT Show.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have some on the firing lane, but since these things they fly off the shelf, it's always hard to.
So the Maritime bolt catch, what's the price on this?
I believe that is $29.99.
Around $29?
Yeah.
$30?
$30, free shipping.
Nice. Very good.
Give or take. We also have a new charging handles as well.
Mm-hmm.
We have a new version of our supercharging handle, which is called the Airborne. And it's pretty much the same thing, but it's been designed to have a smaller radius around it. So as a package, it's smaller. And it was really designed for, it was requested by, let's say, by people who jump out of airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have this giant, ambidextrous thing that's hanging off, so it could get snagged
catching on stuff,
your clothing, your partner or whatever.
Did you say you had that one out on the range?
Absolutely.
Today?
Yeah,
okay.
we have them there.
Well, I need to get some pictures of that. So we'll go back out and get some pictures of that.
We'll be right there.
So the listeners can reference that as they're listening to the show here. So we'll post those up. Now, I was also, when I was over there, you guys had this new adapter for pistols.
Yeah, so
let's talk about that. That was interesting.
All right, so I think you're referring to the 6-second mount. The 6-second mount is made for Glock 17s. It was originally designed. I can't really give out names, but let's say it was designed for an elite counterterrorism unit.
Yeah, that starts with a letter from the alphabet.
It's something
after the letter C.
something along those lines. I'm not at liberty to discuss.
Sure.
But what's really nice about the 6-second mount is that first it gives you a Picatinny rail at the bottom, so you can mount your light and laser, whatever solution you want to put on there. But it also attaches your red dot to the frame of the gun, not on the slide. So it may be a little bit heavier, but what's nice is that your red dot is not moving on the slide. It's not reciprocating back and forth. So
staying put.
It stays put, so it makes it really easy for fast follow-up shots.
Yeah.
Now, it was designed, particularly, I guess, the needs of this request that came to us was that they needed something to fight in linear environments. So that being airplanes, buses, hallways. And it's
crowded, cramped space there.
Yeah, where you can't afford to miss, where you need that
CQB.
Quick follow-up shot. And that's why, actually, it's called the 6-second mount, because pretty much this team was telling us that the average gunfight will last 6 seconds, and you either die or you live.
Right,
to
6 seconds.
To fight another day.
Yeah. It was really smooth design, and what it does is you take out your pin, your trigger pin, and then you put yours in, and you put. I guess you've got a proprietary trigger pin that's going to go in there. Or you just reuse your same trigger pin.
I haven't installed mine, to be honest with you. I give it to the guys at the shop who know what they're doing.
Right.
That's my way of getting out of trouble.
So my point is, it'll go through that, and then it'll mount on your Glock's rail. It has a slide that goes over your Glock's rail, and then its rail will take the place of that.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And it doesn't really take up that much more real estate as far as your handgun goes. But it does add a little more weight, like you said. And then, of course, when you put your sight and you put your light on there, you're gonna have that weight anyway, regardless.
Another plus.
But it was really light. It was a lot lighter than I was expecting.
Sure. Yes. Another plus is that you're not mounting your optic, your red dot, to the slide itself, which that changes the weight of the slide.
Not having to have any special cuts or what are they called? Gunsmithing done to it.
Yeah, no. It's just install it. If you can follow the instructions, you can install it.
Do it yourself.
Yeah. I'm sure there's videos online.
Yeah.
All manner of help.
Yeah. So and it was is it the ALG?
Yeah. So
it's named after.
So ALG Defense is Geissele's sister company. Okay. ALG stands for Amy Lynn Geissele, who is Bill Geissele's wife.
Right.
And she has this the whole philosophy of ALG is to give you a square deal. A square deal is where everybody wins. So the products they're still manufactured in the same factory with the same machines, the same quality of materials, designed by the same excellent engineering staff that we have.
Just maybe not as many features on these. They're not more. They're less robust, probably.
Exactly. No, it's not less robust at all. They're still bulletproof.
Well, no, I didn't mean that. I mean as far as like the features and things like that on them.
Sure, yeah.
They're more basic.
So it's a little simplified design, which allows us to bring it at a much lower cost to
with the same
consumer.
quality.
Yeah, and that's really what a square deal is everybody wins. We make a little bit of money. You save a bunch of money.
Everybody comes home happy.
And you get an absolute top shelf quality product to put on your firearm.
Very good. And now is that a whole separate division of Geissele?
Yeah, it's a separate company. It's completely separate company. It's a sister company.
Okay. And if our listeners want to go and check out their products, what's the website for that?
That would be algdefense.com.
algdefense.com. And then, of course, Geissele is GEISSELE.com.
Yes.
Okay, just Geissele.com.
Just Geissele.
And of course, you can Google Geissele, and then
it'll
pull up millions of different hits. I'm sure.
There's with ALG just as well as Geissele, there is a wide network of distributors that you can purchase from.
Right, and I'm sure you encourage them to go to the distributors and purchase it. Probably get a better deal there than from your website.
Well, I mean, we say competitive, but we just want to put quality products in the customer hands.
Okay. You guys offering any sort of promotions or discounts right now? That our lead heads can use? Any promotion codes?
If your listeners follow us on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, we post our sales whenever they come up.
Okay.
And we have some pretty good sales planned upcoming. Not to give anything away, but something about Thanksgiving or Black Friday.
Black Friday coming up? Yeah,
Black Friday sale.
That's pretty exciting. Yeah.
So we're known, we have a special Black Friday show.
Okay.
To where we feature everybody's sales and deals that they're having. So you'll have to get with me and make sure that we announce those on the show.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah, so something to look forward to, lead heads. But
it'll be exciting.
But in the meantime, you can still go ahead, go check out their Maritime bulk catch. Check out the new rail system. What is it called?
Yes, this is the Mark 13.
The Mark 13 rail system.
The Mark 14.
And Mark 14, and then you've got that awesome trigger for the SIG.
The SIG MTX, yes. And we also
SIG
have
MTX.
a trigger coming up for the MPX as well.
Okay. So you SIG fans, something to look forward to right now.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Well, Diego, we greatly appreciate you being on the show. I know that they're getting ready to fire the range up again, so you probably need to get out there and
no, it's going to get hot.
Help out, maybe
hot range.
Maybe fire a couple of shots myself.
There you go. Now, is that the gun with the rail on it? Are you guys shooting that?
We're shooting
the Glock 17?
Everything that's on the table.
With the ALG?
Yeah, with the LG 6-second mount.
Okay. I want to come shoot that.
Well, coming out. Yep. I think we have a suppressor for it as well, if you want to get the full experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on down. We'll have plenty of 9mm ammo ready for you.
All right, sounds good.
Right on.
All right, guys, we'll be back with more interviews from the Big 3 East here in, is it DeLand? Are we in DeLand, or what's it called?
We're in DeLand.
We're in Daytona Beach,
Daytona Beach. Yeah, nobody knows where DeLand is. We're in Daytona Beach, bright and sunny.
All right, buddy. I appreciate your help. We're going to have you back on to help do some co-hosting.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
All right, guys, we'll be back.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
That was it, man.
That was fun.
Easy.
Yeah, I love it, man.
All right, guys, we are back with more interviews at the this is the fall 2017 Big 3 East media event here in Daytona, Florida. And I've got a co-host with me today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We've got Jacob Johnson.
That would be me, man of the hour.
If you guys recognize that last name, he's the son of CJ Johnson,
yes,
who is the host of the event.
The well-known CJ. People come to this event, and they know me, but I don't know them. It's always, oh, hey, you're CJ's son. Yeah, and who are you? It happens to me a lot.
Well, you meet so many people, between SHOT Show and
Tons.
NRA and this event.
Tons of people.
And they do this twice a year.
Yep.
So you just got people coming at you left and right, brother.
It's crazy.
Don't be ashamed. It's all
good
right.
with faces, not good with names. That's what I say.
Well, that's all right. So we've got another guest joining us, and this is a guy who I haven't talked about on the show before, but I've had some local people there in my town where I live in Murfreesboro talk about him. So I've heard people talk about you. So you have been known to me, and I've been wanting to meet you. So I didn't know you were going to be here. So this worked out great.
Yeah. We're really happy to be here. This is our first year down here at Big 3. And just to be clear, what you hear about me, I'm not claiming anything.
Well, it comes from Tyler, so I take with what he says is with a grain of salt anyway. But we've got Paul Reavis with Gearhead Works LLC, and I'm excited for Paul to talk about this product. I saw it first at On Target in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Tyler's just been pumped up about it.
Oh yeah, he can't keep them in stock.
Yeah, but you guys have taken a new design idea on the brace.
That's right.
The stabilizing brace for AR platforms.
It's a pistol stabilizing brace. It's been probably 3 years in the works. We started on it well before SHOT Show last year, because we actually had prototypes under the table in the booth at SHOT Show last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we were just kind of peeking it to some of the manufacturers and some of the media people that we've worked with in the past. Say, look, this is what we're working on. They're all under NDAs. I said, we'll let you know when it's go to launch. Well, SHOT Show this year, we finally were able to bring it to market. We've got all our ATF approval letters. We've got our patents in. We've still got more patents pending.
Okay.
We did all of this before anything came out of it, because we are very innovative in a lot of our parts. We started making parts for the bullpup market, aftermarket stuff, years ago. So we've been doing that for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, probably before we started the Tailhook pistol brace. So, so now we're...
So that's what you're calling it. It's called the Tailhook.
It's called the Tailhook, right? So the inspiration for the name, because the way the brace works, it's a rigid brace, so there's no flexibility. It's we got 2 models. One of them's machine billet aluminum, so it's extremely rigid.
Rigid and lightweight.
Lightweight, 4.5 ounces.
Wow.
So, and it's not even an inch thick. So, I mean, it is super compact. And what's so great about it is because it's so small, it can be adapted to platforms that before you couldn't really put a brace on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so simple in the way it works and in the way it mounts that customers are buying these, and they're coming up with new ways of mounting it to other platforms. I mean, they're 3D printing an adapter and putting this brace on just whatever. I mean, there was a guy put one on a folding Uzi stock.
That's nuts.
Yeah, wow. So it scissors up, and now he's got a scissor fold out.
Because those things are like extremely small. The Uzi stocks.
Yeah. So he made
like wire thin.
Yeah, it's stamped sheet metal.
Yeah.
And he it's great. We even started a Facebook group for Tailhook owners to
show us your innovations.
Yeah, exactly. So because we get excited about those things too, and if some of them have a good idea and other people want it that aren't as crafty, it's like, hey, maybe we'll consider pulling that into the product line. For a future adapter.
I mean, the more uses you have for it, the more people are going to want it and need it and use it. So it just makes perfect sense. So let's visually try to describe the Tailhook for our listeners.
Okay, so I've already mentioned.
But first, you got a website?
That's right. Gearheadworks.com.
Gearheadworks.com. So as we're talking, guys, go to their website, and then you can visually see what we're talking about here.
And Works is actually spelled correctly, WORKS.
There you go. So sorry to interrupt. Go ahead and
that's perfectly good. So our Model 1, or Mod 1 as we call it, billet machined aluminum. It's not even an inch thick. And from the rear view, if it were mounted on a pistol, I'd say it was oval shaped.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got this ellipse. It will clamp to a round pistol buffer tube or any number of adapters that we make or that you make yourself. And one side of it is fixed, and that side is part of the part that's clamped to the tube, so it stays fixed. And then at the bottom of the oval is a pivot point, and the opposite side of the oval opens up. There's a latch, and it opens up and swings down and out. So now you have this hook shape that is down below the pistol grip of the pistol. So when you grab the gun, the buffer tube comes along the top of your forearm, and the hook is actually hooking up underneath your forearm.
Right.
So what that does...
It's like a brace. I would say a brace. It is a brace. It's what would you call it? Go ahead. I'll think of it.
So it's like it works as a counterbalance for
the
muzzle weight, right? Yeah. So if you've got an AR-15 pistol, for example, all the weight is in the front, and if you try to hold that out with your arms extended, you're having to use your wrist to twist and hold all that weight up.
Shaking and
right. Now what you do is you can completely relax your wrist, and you don't even have to grip the pistol grip. You can just completely open your hand, and the gun is going to rest there. Right. It rests on the web of your hand, and the brace hooks under your forearm, and that's what's supporting all the weight. So now it's major muscle groups holding the weight and not your wrist.
Yeah.
And I just shoot it in an isosceles stance like I would any other handgun.
So when I first saw this, and I'm thinking, so if you guys have ever seen the SIG brace, and just bear with me here, on that SIG brace, that little part where you slide your arm through, and then you wrap the Velcro around to fix it in place. That's what I was trained, on that brace. That's kind of whatever the first brace that came out, and everybody was doing that. So I'm looking at yours, and I'm thinking, how am I going to get my hand through there?
Right.
So I'm sitting there trying to figure it out, and Tyler's just laughing at me,
Right.
He's like, so he finally gets it to me, and it's got that release thing to where that one arm slings open.
Right.
And then you just rest your arm on that, do your normal grip, and you're good to go.
It just kind of, it's like a fold down shelf.
Yeah.
And we've had a
fold
lot of
down,
people at shows. We've taken this to NRA a couple of years now. SHOT Show, people, first thing they want to try to do is try to shove their hand in the middle.
Right. That's what I was trying to do. I was like, how does this?
Yeah, it doesn't flex. It's rigid. It's
metal. Yeah,
it's metal.
Stay where it's at. Right.
Right.
It's not going to move.
I was like, no.
But then people are thinking that they after you open it that you got to close that over your arm. It's like that's not going to be comfortable. It's
right.
Like,
they try to close it on their arms. Like, no, that's not how it works either. But then once they get it, you can see it in their face once they get it, because their eyes just get big and they're just like, oh my God, it actually works. And when they get that aha moment, they just like, this thing is awesome.
Yeah.
So.
And what I really like about it is it's as minimal as you can get, because what it does is it'll attach to an existing pistol buffer tube.
Right.
And then you guys have developed, was it yours that you were showing in? You've got your own proprietary tube now, right?
That's right. So the proprietary tube is actually on our Model 2 or Mod 2 Tailhook. And that one, we went from being machined aluminum to injection molded reinforced polymer. And it does the same thing. It has the fold down shelf that hooks under your forearm. So the principles and the geometry and everything it works exactly the same.
Yeah.
But with the proprietary buffer tube, it actually is notched so that the brace telescopes in and out like a typical AR-15 stock would.
Right.
So we got 5 positions of length adjustable.
And this has completely been approved by NFA.
Yes,
right?
it's been completely approved. We actually had the approval letter on the adjustable one before we had the one on the clamped on.
Oh, really?
Fixable. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I would think they would give you so much crap over that adjustable one.
We got approved without any changes.
Wow.
Yeah. First sample submitted was approved.
That's
Congratulations on that, man.
Thank you. Yeah. The ATF has certain guidelines, and when you learn what those guidelines are, and you don't try to push them over the edge and work within them, and you have a product that will work well within those guidelines, you don't have to try to push the edge and get rejected. You can have something that works, and they're happy with it right as it is.
Yeah. And you can go to market with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So again, it's Gearheadworks.
Gearheadworks.com.
And it's GearheadWorks.
That's right.
Not hooked on phonics here. Spell the word out. .com.
Exactly. And of course, we're on Facebook and Instagram as well.
What are the price points on these?
So the Mod 1 machined aluminum version is retail $119. Okay. And there's thousands of them out there. We've been making those as fast as we can, and it's still not fast enough.
Yeah.
We're expanding our production facility. Seems like every
now, once people learn how they operate, how they work, how they fit on your gun. We were talking earlier about light guns are going light.
That's right.
People are trying to get them as light as possible. And like you said, this thing weighs what, 4 ounces?
4.5 ounces.
4.5 ounces.
That's insane.
And you've got your stabilizing brace. Where there's, I don't know how much those SIG things weigh, but they're so big and bulky.
And heavy.
And heavy.
One place with 4. I mean, you wouldn't even know it's there.
You
almost.
don't. I mean, 4.5 ounces, less than an inch thick. I mean, people are putting them on minimalist builds right and left.
And they'll fit on folding stocks. They'll fit on underfolders,
the fact
collapsible.
What's so great about them being so small is that we don't have to have a whole buffer tube to mount it. We only need a 7/8 inch long round piece to clamp to. The rest of it doesn't matter. So we're actually taking factory folding mechanisms, like, for example, the CZ Scorpion. The buttstock assembly of that is made up of multiple components. You've got the hinge, the folding arm, and then the buttstock is the actual piece that slides in and out.
Okay.
Well, we're using the factory folding mechanism and the factory folding arm, and then just putting an adapter on the end, replacing the buttstock so that it's a tail hook. So now you don't have some kind of third-party discombobulation of hinge here and adapter there and buffer tube from here.
Big hunk of plastic.
That's right. It's all factory CZ stuff in the case of the Scorpion, but we've done that with other platforms as well.
Very cool.
Yeah. So you have, people don't even realize that it's not a short barrel rifle at first because they've seen pictures of the short barrel rifles. This looks like a short barrel rifle, but it's not. It's all factory stuff.
Yeah. So you guys make sure you go check Paul's gear out over at gearheadworks.com. And Any other products that we didn't? I just thought there was another product.
Well, we've actually, been in business for several years. We started off making aftermarket parts for bullpups. So the Steyr AUG, if you've got one of those, the IWI Tavor and X95, we've got
big fan of that.
Yeah, thank you. We're full line of aftermarket parts and accessories for those. And then we've got a few extra parts for the Scorpion too, like magazine release and safety and stuff like that. And that's all stuff that we've been doing.
That's stuff
over
you've been
the
had
years.
for a while, yeah.
Right. And then the Tailhook thing, when I had that idea and started working on that several years ago now, we were still pumping out those other parts too.
Yeah.
So we've got a pretty good product lineup now.
Okay. So very good.
What prompted you to? I'm always interested to hear, guys like yourselves that come in here with these great ideas. What prompted you to make that switch? Because things are one way for so long, and then you have, companies like yourselves that decide, we're going to do it a little differently. And in this case, it seems like it's working pretty well, from what I understand.
Yeah. So I've been competitive shooting since the 3rd grade.
Right on.
So my shooting career has literally been lifelong. So, like, for example, my very first part was a Steyr AUG charging handle. I had one, and the charging handle sucked. And I was like, I can do better than this. I've got an engineering background, and I'm a tool maker by trade. I went out in the shop and I made one.
That helps.
Yeah. and so yeah. I mean, now everything's a lot fancier. Now, of course,
sure.
So we've upgraded since then. But yeah. So it's if I find a need or find some way to improve something, I can literally design it, prototype it, and produce it all in-house in a short amount of time.
Yeah. You can't beat that.
No.
So was this Brace your idea?
It was my idea. I have these concepts that are rolling around in my head all the time. So, I'll have kind of a faint idea of something that don't really know how I'm going to do it yet. And I just kind of let it file away in the back of my head while I'm doing everything else.
Yeah.
And this brace was one of those ideas. I was like, okay, it's back there. This would be neat. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going about my day.
Yeah.
I'm making Scorpion parts.
Yeah.
And I was just literally walking through the house one day, and all of a sudden that idea in my head popped back to the front. And I was like, this is how you can do it. And I literally turned around and went to the CAD computer, and I just dropped everything else. And I was like, this is it. And I started CADing the model up, and that was.
See, that's what I guess I need one of those CAD machine programs or whatever, because I get those ideas all the time, and I'll put them in the back of my head, and they never come back.
You got to get them back out,
right? That's what I got to get my recollection back. But I've probably had 6 or 10 billion-dollar ideas, and I don't remember what they were now.
Yeah, what I ended up doing is just starting an Excel spreadsheet. So I'd have an idea. And even if it's just a concept, I'll just call it something and list it. Yeah. And then I'll put different columns as a status. Like, okay, this thing is just a concept, a crazy idea, and then I was like, well, this one's made it to a prototype, And
then, that's the engineer in you that's doing all this.
Probably so. Yeah, a little more organization. You wouldn't know it by looking at my desk, but yeah. So.
Organized chaos, right?
That's right. That's exactly right.
Probably looks like my studio right here.
Yeah.
Well, very good, Paul. Like I said, I've been anxious to talk to you ever since Tyler introduced me to your product, and I'm glad you got it out here. You've got it out on the range. I haven't actually tried it yet. So
we're down there shooting on quite a few different platforms. We didn't want to do just ARs, so we only have 2 ARs here, and we got about a half a dozen other various things that we've put the tail hook on, just to show the flexibility of it. You know, I mean, it can go on just about anything.
Yeah, from what you're telling me, it sounds like it's very, very flexible.
It is.
It's very flexible. Not flexible.
That's right. That's right. It's a very rigid, flexible design, but rigid.
Yeah, there you go. Very good. Anything else you want to ask him?
That was really
co-host.
Just the
Jacob.
Just the way that. I just think it's so cool that, common guys come in here and, it's cool to me that you can sit down and think, no, I can do this better. Mm-hmm. The fact that people are willing to sit there and say, why can't I do this better? Why can't I make it better? And, here That's you right. are at this big event. If more people would have that ambition, and you don't even need the engineering background. You kind of cheated a little bit with that.
Right.
That was a big curve.
Yeah, no, that
just
was
a big curve.
It gave you a little bit, right?
Yeah.
If more people had that drive, I mean, who knows economically where we would go?
No, that's right. I mean, I talk to people all the time. It's like, hey, I got this idea here and here, and I was like, well, okay, these are the kind of steps that you need to take. You know, they may not have any kind of background to know anything, but they've got an idea. And you know, people call me up.
Jacob, I think you just came up with a good show topic. So that would be a good show topic for us to talk about on another show. Is how to, if you got these great ideas, how to organize them and get them out and make them reality.
One of the important things too is how to protect yourself. You know,
patents are
and
huge.
Stuff. That's right. I mean, I didn't know any of that when I started off and suffered for it. You know,
Tesla didn't have any idea either, and you've seen what happened there.
Right. So you know, you can look on the market now, and it's like, oh, is that the gear? No, that's not the gearhead works part. But yeah, so now we basically have patent firm on standby at all times, and everything goes through them. So
very good. That'd be a topic for another show. So good job, Jacob.
I do appreciate it.
Paul, again, thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to get some pictures of that product. We'll be posting them on social media. So you guys check us out, Talking Lead, at Talking Lead, and www.talkingled.com. And then again, one more time, gearheadworks.com.
That's right. And Instagram and Facebook.
Very good. And don't forget, Black Friday's coming up, so you might be running some specials on that, huh?
You know, we stay sold out of most things. We've literally in the history of the company only ever had one sale.
That's it.
That was it, and that was because my son was born.
Right on.
So that was kind of the special occasion. But I mean,
gotcha.
We do.
So I'm going to edit all that out, so don't worry. I'll just edit that whole thing out.
Right.
But you do LE discounts?
That's right. Law enforcement, military, retired or active, either one. You know, we're super friendly to those guys. I mean, I've got friends and family in every branch and every type of service out there, and they call me up. I'm happy to help.
There you go.
Right on.
Very good. All right, guys, we're going to try to get back out to the range, get a few more pictures for you guys, and then we'll be back with some more interviews at the fall. I keep wanting to say spring. This is the fall Big 3 East
Training
event.
Center in Daytona Beach, Florida.
There you go. Boom.
Yep.
That does it for episode 227 of the Talking Lead podcast. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you haven't done so, we hope you are subscribed to the podcasting system for which you are listening to us from. And go ahead and give us a rating and some feedback, whether it's iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, wherever it may be. You can also find us on our website at www.talkingled.com, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We're all over the place. Love to hear from you if you've got some suggestions for the show, a certain guest or a certain product that you'd like for us to review or interview someone on the show. You can reach us at talkingled@gmail.com. Love to hear from you guys. And just some feedback in general. You can send that to us at talkingled@gmail.com. Something I want to pose to you guys. As our longtime listeners know, I grow my hair out for Hawks Locks for Kids. That's a nonprofit organization that collects hair for children for whatever reason that they've lost their hair. It could be from fires, it could be from disease, disorders, whatever it may be. And they make wigs. So this is my second go-round. The hair is long enough now to where I can go ahead and cut it and send in another batch. Unlike last time, I just kind of cut it and that was it. I'd like to take this opportunity and raise some additional funds, some money. So I want to do some sort of a raffle or something associated with cutting my hair to raise additional monies for some of these nonprofit organizations that Talking Lead supports. So if you guys have any suggestions on how I might go about doing that, I'm thinking about doing something at SHOT Show this year, so that's coming up the end of January, coming up pretty soon. So if you guys have any fun, cool suggestions on how I should go about doing that, love to hear from you. Send those suggestions to me at talkingled@gmail.com. And if you would, in the subject heading there, put hair ideas, so I'll know how to quickly identify that. Again, check out all the people who make this show possible, all the sponsors, supporters of the show. High Threat Concealment, highthreatconcealment.com. They make some awesome low-profile holsters for your guns and gear for your everyday carry. They also have products now that they've just started for your canine, some leashes and collars. Check them out at highthreatconcealment.com. Riton USA, RITON USA.com. RitonUSA.com, the official optics of Talking Lead. X-Steel Targets, xsteeltargets.com. Modern Spartan Systems, modernspartansystems.com. VanQuest, check them out at vanquest.com. Glock, us.glock.com. Keltec, the official lead quarters of Talking Lead for the 2018 SHOT Show, keltecweapons.com. The official apparel company of Talking Lead, 1776 United, 1776united.com. Asymmetric Technologies, stepping up and sponsoring the old Talking Lead Leadcast again this year at the 2018 SHOT Show, asymmetrictechnologies.com. Make sure you guys go and support those companies that support us, and we try to help you guys out with discounts along the way. If you use the code LEADHEAD, most of these companies have that discount code set up to give you guys a nice Leadhead Brigade discount. And if you go to one of these and it's not set up or it may have expired, they just need to renew it, just let me know. Shoot me an email, talkinglead@gmail.com, and I'll get that reactivated for you guys. So like I said earlier in the show, this is our last show before Christmas, so everybody have a safe and Merry Christmas. Hope you get everything that you want, and I hope you're able to give everything to your loved ones that they want. So Merry Christmas, Leadheads. Until the next episode, as always, keep your loved ones close and your firearms closer, Leadheads.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.